Hey, it's Sam Tidmarsh here for E-Commerce Expo, Technology for Marketing and AdTech London 2019. I'm here with the European and UK Marketing Director for Kobalt Music, Gareth Mellor. So how did you arrive at Kobalt, and do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay. I spent years as a promoter running different club nights, and that kind of how I got my musical grounding. But then I just didn't want to stay awake any longer until like 5 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of took everything I'd learned from being a promoter and took that into startups and working in actual marketing departments, and then kind of ended up leading a bunch of different marketing teams. Joined Kobalt to take on all the tech marketing for it, and then quickly ended up taking over the whole region itself as we were expanding out. And then it's just kind of trailed on from there. And I will now take my turn.
So you must like music, surely, if you've been a promoter and now you're here. I mean, what's your favourite album?
You would like to think I like music. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a product of the playlist age now, so I build a lot of playlists rather than listen to kind of singular albums, which I think is bad because you should listen to the full album. But I kind of have like 5 standard go-tos for bands, which is Queens of Stone Age, Nine Inch Nails, Chemical Brothers, completely went blank, John Hopkins,
Hey.
and
Great.
and one more, I can't think, Run the Jewels. Was that Run the Jewels? But anyway, they're the 5 I go to. But obviously in my job I get to listen to a lot of new music, so like Little Sims' album this year I think is phenomenal. Comet is coming, they've all done, there's a lot of good music coming out at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I love that John Hopkins album from last year.
John Hopkins is a firm favourite.
It's similar, I'm super into Kiasmos, so it's another one of my kind of favourites.
Yeah, they make particularly good techno.
I mean, as part of your music job and working with all of these artists and bands, surely you have quite a specific content strategy. You're talking in the content and social strategy fit at Technology for Marketing, so I think you've probably got something quite important to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few different strands to that. One, we're a very global company in the sense that we've got offices in 14 different cities now. And I think as a marketing team, we're also spread across those cities. So the way that we think about content is very international. We kind of take influences from LA's street culture and the London grime culture and try and mix that into how we talk about our own company. And also I think because of the way that we work and, we're pushing independence within artists and things like that, they come up with some incredibly interesting ideas, which, we can kind of wrap into our own marketing. And so I think it presents us with a really sort of unique approach to content. I think the other thing is that we're not afraid to take risks, which I'm sure everyone says they're not afraid to take risks. It's kind of a general thing within content, but I mean, we'll start, say, a new year with 7 different strands of content, and we might come down to 3 by the end of that year because we've tested it really quickly. We're very agile with how we use content, and I think that's reflected in both the way that we market and the way that we market with artists. And I think that kind of provides you quite a lively way of marketing because you're always changing things and you're never quite settled in exactly what you want. I don't think content is ever one of those things where from the beginning of the year to the end of the year you should know exactly what you're doing because the landscape changes, you change the way you're doing things. So yeah.
Is your strategy customer first?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're very, I've got to miss a go.
Oh, unbelievable.
I think everything about Kobalt is customer first. I mean, we have a set of values, which I'm sure every company says they have a set of values, and I do believe that all companies do, but one of the main values for Kobalt is put the creator first. So everything we do, whether that's the deals that we do, the way that we market, the way that our finance team works, everything is about putting the customer first, and creators are our customers. So everything we do is considering their needs. So it's, if we're doing a video as the brand team, and we involve an artist, is it going to elevate their career? Is it going to help them in some way? Is it going to make them reach a new audience? Because that's, I'm on a brand team that's in the business of building artists, so we have to think about that first. If it's a blog, is it is it actually going to get them to see new people to see them, you know?
So it's almost like business to consumer, or business to influencer to consumer.
Yeah. It's a funny one because, you know, so I work in a brand team for the company, but then I also have another team that I sit with in the UK who are primarily focused on marketing artists. So, you know, I'm trying to bring in new customers, which are artists or songwriters.
Sure, yeah.
And then their job is to then market those to an audience. So everything that we're doing at this end has to affect this end, because, you know, no artist is going to join our company if they don't think they're going to get marketed well in the end of it. So yeah, it's a constant funnel. Everything we do is a funnel from, you know, from business to fan, really.
So what would you say to those people who don't see value in content marketing generally?
I mean, I think for me, and you know, I'm not saying this is the same approach everyone has, but I think marketing has a place in every part of the business. You know, like I say, whether that's the admin side or the lawyers or, you know, your sales side, obviously, or anything like that. I think marketing has a place because internally you're always trying to market your brand to your own team. You know, we've got a company that's 700 people strong. Each one of those is potentially an advocate for the business. So I think marketing has an involvement at every level. And I think that content is every part of marketing. You know, it's not just the idea of writing a blog or making your website look good or anything like that. It's everything you do. You know, it's the internal emails you send to your team. It's the videos you're making. For us, it's the videos our artists are making. You know, so I think if someone was to just look at content as blogs and they're not really seeing anything from it, then yeah, it probably does seem like a waste of time. But I think if you consider marketing a big part of every part of your company, and then you consider the content has a piece within every part of that, it's much bigger than just writing a blog and making sure it gets picked up by SEO.
Sure. I mean, on that, I guess, is there a way you can measure the value of your content and show it to the board, show it to those people who think there isn't value in it?
Yeah, I mean, there's simple stuff. There's, you know, likes and reach and sharing and things like that. I mean, that's easy for you to pull out, and, you know, we obviously do that. Everyone does that as well as content. You need to do that. But I think for us, there's a much bigger picture that we look at, that when we're talking to, say, Willard, who's our owner, or, you know, or the comms team talking about stuff, is that obviously you've got these easy KPIs you can talk about, but are we influencing culture? Right. Are we influencing the conversation that's happening in our industry? And I think it's more difficult to pick that out because, you know, it is difficult to prove that you've influenced culture. Right. But I think if you are doing it, you'll know it. I mean, we had a big thing that we've been trying to influence how people talk about independent artists for the last 2 years. And there was a big thing about Taylor Swift recently. And CNN were using stuff that we were talking about in our blog, right, to reference this Taylor Swift situation, because we've been plugging that for a long time and trying to push the conversation to go that way. And you can prove that. You know, you can prove that your president is being quoted by CNN. Yeah. But it takes time.
I see. And I guess that is kind of how you measure the content in which you can use to support it and show actually that's the value from it. That's why it's worth doing content marketing.
100%.
And you can use technology to do that.
100%. And I think, you know, obviously you can use content to make sure people come to your website. You know, you can make sure that SEO and SEM is working the way you want it to, but for us it's the bigger picture. It's making sure that we are actually influencing the conversation that's happening in the music industry, and that our competitors are copying us. That's always a sign that something's working, is that when everyone else starts to do something you've been doing for a year. And we have that with events, we have that with content, we have that with everything. You'll see that if we've done it right, someone will try and copy it the next year.
So hopefully there won't be too many people coming along to steal your ideas at TFM, but I'm sure there will be.
I mean, I part of this, you know, doing the conference for me is like, I would like to think what we're doing in an expert way, but I think no particular person is like the ultimate expert on something. I think you're always learning with content. Like I said, you can't know everything at the beginning to the end of the campaign. I'm sure I hope people do take ideas, you know, from what we're doing, even if they're in the music industry. we'll change it soon. So
I'm really looking forward to your talk. It should be great.
Good.
We've run out of time here, but I'm looking forward to more insights of the show. And yeah, I think it's your turn.
I don't think I've had a go for a while.
No, I took 2 because you missed a go. After you.
Thanks.